Edgar here. I'm going to do a review on another handgun, which is pretty much what I review for the most effect. I'm going to do one on a handgun that's not sort of my normal types of handguns. It's a full-sized 9mm double stack. Carries 15 rounds, or you can even get a 17-round magazine. If you watch some of my other videos, you know that I'm not really a double stack large automatic handgun kind of guy. But I had a chance to get this Taurus PT92 at a remarkably good price, and who can pass up a bargain? And I figured, well, I better get it and try it out. So I did. I put about 200 rounds through it. Now the PT92 Taurus is really a Beretta clone. Looks just like the Beretta. The design features are virtually the exact same thing, and apparently some of the parts are even swappable. I believe the magazines are, for sure. It's a well-made handgun. Taurus has really made some inroads in making good handguns in the last decade or two, and this certainly rises to the mark of being well-made. It's big, as you can see. I don't have a great big hand. You can see what it's like for me to hold this thing. 34 ounces without ammunition. That is not a light handgun. 8.5 inches long. She's a pretty big boy. Not what you would consider a concealed carry for most of us. But going out in the range and banging away with 9mm, it's kind of fun for that. Felt recoil at that size is mild, to say the least, for a 9mm. It's fairly thick, as you would imagine with a double stack that does 15 or even 17 rounds. If you've got a small hand, you're going to have a handful on gripping it. Handguns like this, where they're so thick, I actually end up using a revolver grip. Yeah, I use the revolver type grip rather than the other. Now there's an interesting thing about putting this square piece. I know there's some folks that when they fire, they'll actually put their index finger in that slot. And a lot of them feel that that really helps to give them some stability when they're laying their hands across in a more common automatic pistol type shooting. Again, I use a revolver grip, and that seems to work pretty well for me for a pistol that's this big and heavy. Takedown's extremely simple. You'll see this little button right here on the side. All you do is, and sometimes you have to pull it, slide back a little bit, but you push that button in. There's a little lever right here on the side that you're just going to rotate down. So you push the button in on that, rotate the lever down, off she comes. Take the spring off, guide rod. This actually locks, this barrel actually locks in with sort of a little wing looking feature in here. You push that in there and it'll lift the lock up and you can pull the barrel out. And then when you put it back in, you reset it in. So you just do the exact opposite when you're going back in. Not much to it. It's pretty easy. Everything's machined well. When you look in there, you'll see that it's well machined. The guide rod just slides right back in there and fits into that slot. It really goes in kind of nicely. When you look at the inside on these Taurus handguns, you'll see that things are nice and smooth. They're really pretty well machined, and I have to say that it's really it really is a pretty good quality handgun. It's just reverse, you just go back. You may have to push this back just a skosh to get it go back up. And then she's done as far as put together. The only thing that I would say seems to be a little on the cheap side is the safety decocker. It's an ambidextrous safety decocker. Decocker works as you would hope it would. Safety's easy to put up. But the feel of the safety, it just feels very plasticky to me. And I have to wonder if these would tend to break. I don't know if they do or not, but when you feel them, they just don't feel very rugged. They feel a little bit on the flimsy side. Except for that, everything else seems to be good and rugged, good and tough. I fired 200 rounds of pretty much junk ammo. Not a single misfire, failure to feed, failure to eject. Everything worked flawlessly. So it was extremely reliable, easy to shoot. The sights are fairly easy to acquire, even for my old eyes. You know, they're large enough. Of course, they got the 3 dots. Everything's now coming with the 3 dots. But they're large enough for me to be able to acquire them, even in kind of the low light that we use at our range. And all in all, if you can get one at a good price, it's a pretty nice handgun to have. Let me know what you think. This is Edgar.